Well, driving back to my in-laws' house and we saw some smoke, decided to go check it out. What do they say? When there's smoke, there's fire. So we just helped put out a fire and help my neighbor's house not catch on fire. So it's been a good day. Pretty wild. You know, in the races, if I wasn't getting first place or anything, I was doing heel clickers and stuff, showing off on the jumps. That's what we were doing. But I didn't really get serious into freestyle until I was at a buddy's house in high school, or actually a friend of mine brought me over to a buddy's house, and a local rider, Jeff Griffin, had a video. They just shot him doing some tricks out in the foothills, and I saw that he was closer to my age, and I saw him progressing in the sport a little bit, and I go, I can do that. You know, I can go out there and do those tricks like this other guy that's coming out of Bakersfield. And you know, Adam Pierce was a huge influence of the Bakersfield freestyle scene, and then Griffin was close friends with Adam Pierce. It kind of trickled down, and then I started becoming friends with Jeff and seeing him, and I was like, hey, I want to do that. I think after my last race too, my dad noticed that I was doing the tricks and everything over the jumps, and he goes, hey, would you want to build a freestyle ramp? Would you be interested in doing something like that? And I just said, hell yeah, I would. You know, freshman year in high school, him and my cousin Richard Hampton designed a ramp and built it and towed it home, I think, for Christmas in 2001. And then ever since then, had a ramp and started pursuing my career. My helmet painter, Brady Lambert, he's like, hey, I know this guy. I've known him for a long time. His name's Shane Trittler. He's got a ramp set up, and he does demos all over the United States, and it's a safe landing. And I told him about you. Would you want to come up and do a demo for him? They're like, yeah, I'll do it. It was up in Castaic Lake, right up the road. We went up there and did a show for some jet ski races, and he didn't have any money to pay us at that time, but it was just showing like, hey, this kid can jump a ramp, he can do the tricks. And then after that, he hired me to go up to this other lakeboard competition, and then I got hired to do another one, and hired to do another one. I was like, holy crap, I'm making some good money riding my motorcycle now. I can actually do this to pay bills and live off this. So I did a bunch of shows with Shane Trittler, and then it just started progressing. My riding the word got out, my riding was good. I was doing demos and other new promoters and stuff like that, and I just started making money doing shows. It was pretty wild to think that I just did it for fun when it first came out. Freestyle was just, let's go learn a new trick. That was awesome. That's all I cared about. But to actually make some money on the weekend was just another, you know, I don't even know how to say it. Another high, I guess you'd say. With my dad, he had us work no matter what. Like, we were working for him, and I got to go, he let me go do shows and come back here and there, so I can go ride, but hey, you still had to show up Monday morning or Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock, get back to work and do that, which I thought was good just for grounding purposes. It taught me how to have a work ethic at some point, but one year he goes, hey man, you're making money riding, go out and see what you can do. You know, go out and go make some money and get your name out there. Like I said, my dad supported me in everything I did. So I was like, sweet, I'm gonna go out and make my money and ride my dirt bike, and this is gonna be sweet. Well, what happened was I was making way too much money at the time with the riding and partying and coming back thinking, oh, I'm made $1,500 this weekend or $2,000 this weekend. I can go buy this or go spend my money on that. And then at the end of the year, come to find out, I had no money saved up. I blew it all. And going back to my dad, he goes, well, how'd you do? Like, what's the verdict? I was like, well, I gotta come back to work. I don't have any money. As embarrassing as that sounds, it was a humbling experience with my dad, because he told me, he's all, hey, I gave you the tools to go do what you could, and it sucks that it happened this way, but you know, he welcomed me back with open arms, gave me a job. He could have told me, you know, you blew it, you fucked up, get out of here, you know. But like I said, he's supported me, he's helped me out when I was good and when I was bad. He's the best dad ever. I learned from that though. I go, okay, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm gonna make some money, but I'm not gonna blow it on stupid shit and beer and all that. Because I realize now, what did that get me? It's just a few memories I can remember.
I was just thinking about this a couple weeks ago. I was like, man, it's been such a long road for me. Like, I don't know if I'd be willing to do it again. Honestly, I mean, this is my 8th season, and I was basically a privateer for seven years in the pro ranks. My first outdoor race, or my first full season was 2009. And basically, I think my main issue is I just was so underprepared. You know, I didn't have the support with a team or a bike. But I think I could have overcome that with maybe more fitness for sure, more training, and just in general like knowledge on what to do. You know, I just like was so green, and it was good actually for Jeremy because, you know, I was 3.5, 4 years older than him, so he kind of saw my mistakes and failures, and like he was kind of able to basically change up his program or do more things for sure. You know, so he was able to have that success coming into the amateurs, or from amateurs to pro, whereas I kind of came in and like definitely floundered around a little bit, and you know, looking back, it was just all part of the process. Man, these are memories that I tried to bury. Like, I'm trying to just get rid of these memories, you know. But I mean, obviously, you know, I did have some good results in those years, but it just lack of being prepared, lack of just literally just getting off the couch and trying to, you know, go to the shop and do work. There was just so many things that I didn't agree with. But at the end of the day, the bike was fast, and I always told myself, you know, I felt like I could win on the bike, especially in 11 and 12. You know, I just wasn't really aware of how much else I was missing out on in terms of team and support and testing and things like that. And then on the other side too, Chad Sander, he was the type of guy that would, you know, against all odds, he would tell you that his program was the best, his bike was the best, and you believed in the guy, you know, and there was times when he'd come to the shop and he would pound out customer work, which is kind of how he got us to the races. He had to do a lot of customer work to pay us, or to pay the way. And there was weeks where he was in that shop all day, busting ass and making it happen. But the problem was it wasn't consistent. There was a lot of times when he just didn't show up, or you know, there was work that just wasn't done. You know, and like I had instances where there was customers calling me, like asking like if their bikes are done. And like I just, you know, I'm a rider, I ride for the team, like I don't want to be involved. You know, it was tough because I basically uprooted my life, and I spent a big part of those years in Uniontown, Pennsylvania, where the shop was based. I lived there, and actually my fiance, she graduated from college, and she moved out with me for like 4 months in 2012. So you know, I had a lot riding on it, and just looking back at it, like I had a lot of hope in the guy that I definitely probably shouldn't have had. I mean, that was literally like a career revival for me, you know, especially after having the bummer year in 2013. And so that was enough to where Yamaha was like, all right, this, you know, your rider is good enough, that we're going to help you with some support. So I got a good motor and good suspension with Enzo suspension, and Christina and Chris, they're so organized that it was just the program was awesome, you know, and it was just enough to where, you know, 2015 was the year that kind of just raised the bar in all aspects. You know, Supercross, getting on the podium a couple times, being on the podium 3 or 4 times in outdoors, winning a moto. I mean, it couldn't have really gone any better for being in the sport for so long, for being a pro, a privateer for so long, and just being average, just mediocre for so long, and then to just, you know, randomly, like, the bike was right, the team was right, like, things just clicked, the training, you know, that was huge to get a win and to be on the podium that many times.
Buds, time to go. You gonna leave your blanket here?
I'm bringing it.
I have one in the backpack for you.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, let's put your shoes on. Whoops. We gotta put socks on though, okay? Alright. I don't want your feet getting all blistered up. Quit messing with me.
Not like that one.
No, that one's dirty.
Two.
That morning of the show, I got a phone call from my brother, and he said, "Dude, are you sitting down?" And I was like, "What? No, why? What's going on?" He's like, "Dude, you need to come home. You need to find a way to get home." And I was like, "What? No, just tell me. Like, what the hell happened?" He goes, "Dad shot himself today." And my heart just sunk. I was just in utter shock. I just started bawling, crying. I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. Like, I didn't get to say anything, goodbye or anything to him. And it was the best, and I thought it was gonna be the best year of my life. Like, Nitro Circus just hired me to, you know, do their shows, and that happened. And then it made me question everything with my life. I got home with my family, and he was on life support for a week, and they told us that there's no way he's gonna make it. And it was the heaviest thing I've ever heard. I went up every single night, went up to the hospital praying and hoping that something would turn around. I went back to the family business. I was like, okay, I gotta stay here. I gotta work with my brother and get this going, you know, so to help my mom, to help the family, or do whatever. And I was there for 6 months, and I couldn't take walking by my dad's office every single day, seeing an empty chair. It's already hard enough going out to his house and not have him out there in the front porch, you know, washing down the patio, or every time I go and ride, he was out there watching me get on his golf cart, grab a beer, his cigarette, go watch me ride, and it was the shittiest feeling going into that place every single day, knowing he wasn't there and he's never gonna be there. Phone calls every day, answering. Hey, can I talk to Tim? Tim's not here anymore. Well, what do you mean Tim's not here? He passed away. What? No way, no way. Yeah, he passed away. He's no longer here. Well, what happened? He was young. I talked to him last week. You know, he committed suicide. And people were shocked. All over the United States, he had customers call from Michigan, Florida, Nevada, Oregon, all these places, and they're calling to talk to Tim, and I don't know how many people I had to tell over and over, and then customers coming in, trying to say sorry and it was just dealing with the death was hard enough in itself, but it carried every single day at work. Not just walking by his empty office, not just by not seeing his truck, or his truck was parked inside one of the bays. I mean, not seeing his truck there. He was there all the time. I go to the work. There's Dad walking by. First office he walked by he's got a window cut out in his office, so I hated it. And I had to go to keep myself sane for my family. That business provided a life for me. Education, my motorcycles. The ramp was built at that shop with my dad and my cousin in the fabrication bay. I mean, that place was everything. It gave me everything I needed to be successful with my grandpa and my dad, and it was really the biggest turning point in my life, because I had to make a decision that I thought I never had to make. I would never have to make. And it was hard. I kept fighting myself. And is this the right thing? And what if I regret it? But I knew to keep myself sane at that moment, I had to close the door, and I had to. And nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change that. And people say time heals all, but I don't know about this one. It's gonna carry on forever. Yeah.
You dedicate so much time to this whole profession that we're chasing after, you know, and it's like you really hate to put all those hours and all those years, you know, down the tube essentially, you know. So it was good to sign that factory deal, to be getting paid, you know, a little bit, not to, you know. Since I've been out here in California this winter, I literally have not had to work on my bike one time, you know, and it's just like, it's such a good feeling. Like, I mean, I consider myself, you know, a pretty darn good mechanic, I guess, in terms of rider being a mechanic. I felt like I was, because like I had to do so much for so many years. So, you know, now just show up at the track with your riding gear and, you know, just hop on the bike and go. It's awesome. that is a twist to being on a factory team. Is, you know, as a privateer, you don't have a group of guys behind you or a team owner, team manager pushing you really. So being on a factory team, you know, they have sponsors that are only happy with people winning, you know. And so, I mean, obviously with Star, they've had Cooper and Jeremy basically dominating the 250 class for the last couple of years. And so I do feel there is more pressure, for sure. I mean, obviously I put pressure on myself for sure with all the training that I do. And the amount of effort you put in during the week, I feel like the more you put in, the more you expect out of yourself. But now you have the team that basically, you know, expects to win because they've had Cooper and Jeremy basically dominating for the last couple of years. So the bar is set pretty high from those guys. And, you know, obviously I feel like I can get the job done, and the team does too, but you have to do it. I just want to see where my potential is. You know, I think sky's the limit, and, you know, that's why I've always put in so much basically effort and hard work. It's just because I kind of want to see like what I can get out of myself, you know, where I can go. And like getting on the podium in 2011 was a huge step in that journey. And then last year being able to win a moto for the first time, and then now this year I'm on a factory team. Like, you know, I just want to keep going and see what I can accomplish. You know, I've seen basically my brother, you know, win 2 outdoor national championships, and, you know, he's got the same blood as me, you know, same genes. So, you know, I think it's definitely possible. I think the things just everything has to be clicking. But, you know, I'd like to definitely leave this sport with you know, a huge impression, and, you know, enjoy it at the same time. But I mean, I definitely like to get some more wins and definitely run for a championship.
I was just curious exactly where the rig's at. Okay, what do I get off 99? Okay, so after I turn left on Santa Fe, do I turn right on Riverside or left? Okay. All right, thanks, bye. So I got a call, one of my customers got a flat tire on the light tower. They're getting ready to move locations, and gonna go out there and take care of them, get them set up so they can drill some more holes. For me to cap off my freestyle career with a full-length Nitro Circus tour, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy next year wrenching on light towers, delivering trash pumps, and all that. I would be content. And I'd still ride my dirt bike. I'd still go out and hit my ramp, do heel clicker flips, kiss the desk, all that, because that's what I enjoy doing. I've been doing it for so long. And I did it before I even got paid. Most people, there's a lot of kids now that want to ride it because they think they're going to make all this money and do all these shows, and they're going to learn the hard way, and they're going to learn that the pay is not what it used to be, and it's going to crash and burn, I think, one day. I mean, you can do so much until you turn into a circus act. Dance, monkey, dance. That's the next, you know, that's the next step in freestyle as far as demos go, I think. And, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to see what the rental company does. And it's funny, people ask me all the time, how does it feel to do backflips? I was like, it's definitely one of the top things I've ever done in my life, but landing a customer, a big customer for my rental company was just as exciting, just as thrilling, and just as heart-stopping as doing a flip on a motorcycle in front of 10,000 people. It's just that you work so hard to do something and get somewhere, and you see yourself knocking off those goals. Like, I started a business, I want to get a customer. It's like just the same high as I want to do a backflip on a motorcycle. I want to do a backflip on a motorcycle in a show. You know, it's the same goals. It's just two different places.
I kept putting pressure on Mitch to get, all right, let's get started. Let's into Supercross, let's get a bike, I need to start going somewhere. And basically he told me it was because, my fitness wasn't there, and he thought that it was never really in my contract.
It's pretty much politics. He had a 2-year contract. He should be riding. People should have looked at the numbers before. They just added a rookie.
Felt like I'd been given up on, and I should have the opportunity to race outdoors and at least prove myself. Nobody had really given me a chance to ride the bike and see if I was even capable of doing it. For all they know, I could have been a superstar on the bike outdoors.
We have to wait till October to talk to people, and then they're like, oh, well, you had a contract outdoors, but he didn't even let you ride outdoors, so why would we pay you? And so it almost messes with our finances for the next year. And so we're gonna get lowballed the next year, and it's, with everything we're already dealing with, it's stressful and it's a pain. And
well, after we went on our little trip to go work on the light tower, I saw some smoke, and I'm like, man, that's over by my parents' house, I think, and didn't really think anything of it. Like, oh, it looks small. So we go back to my house, load up the stuff to go make tacos and eat at my father-in-law's house, and call my wife on the way there. I was like, oh yeah, there's like a fire maybe over by our parents' house, no big deal. And when we get down there, I noticed that it's super close to my mom's house, my in-laws' house. So I was like, shit, we need to go check it out. So when we went over there, saw the flames just burning up right next to someone's house, right in the neighborhood. So I thought, well, I got a 500-gallon water trailer right down here so we can fill up and help fight the fire. And so we went over there, hurried up, put 3 hoses into it so we could fill it up quick, hauled ass back down there, fired it up, started doing the firefighting thing, just blowing out all the flames and everything, and drove my truck straight into my neighbor's backyard, or my mom's neighbor's backyard, and just started to help blast the fire. And it was very scary because I think if we weren't there, so he got there right when it started, the fire crews started showing up. So, I mean, it was still going pretty good. And I didn't put out the fire, but I definitely helped, block it from catching anything else on fire next to the neighbor's house. And they were really happy I was there, and I was just happy to join in because there was a fire right like 25 minutes east of Bakersfield that burnt 42,000 acres. And I actually donated one of my safety cool stations up there for the families that lost their house. I mean, they burnt everything down. There's not even somewhere to go hide underneath the shade. So took a safety cool station up there so they can go in, chill, cool off, get some water while they're scrummaging through what's left of their house. And I didn't want to see that happen again. So I just did what I could and grabbed the trailer and started blasting water everywhere.